Hi, my name is Coldbeer, and let's start with Age of Wonders Planetfall. Emerge from the cosmic dark age of a fallen galactic empire to build a new future for your people, or, you know, ruin everything even more. Here you will build your kingdom with one of 6 unique factions, ranging from militant vanguard to the dinosaur-riding Amazons, cyborg zombies, and unicorn raccoon kittens of despair. Well, maybe not the latter, but I assure you that the diversity of units is really nice. Here you'll progress through each faction's missions using your wits, military strength, and diplomacy. Explore planetary ruins and encounter other survivors as you unravel the history of a shattered civilization. Game has a really nice single-player campaign and a random skirmish maps. You can play the game alone or dive into multiplayer battles and feel the shame of defeat. Rogue Lords. This is a dark fantasy roguelike where you play as the devil. Instead of buying souls and, you know, giving people what they want like Satan claws everyone loves, you will lead a band of famous evil geniuses through various events and turn-based fights to spread terror and corruption. Create synergies between your disciples, use your evil powers, and take revenge on those miserable demon hunters. You know what is the scariest thing for a demon hunter? Demon hunter. And that's you and your minions. Of course, only when you win, because sometimes you will encounter demon hunters, and then you die. So here, run after run, you will manage your team as they encounter unforeseen events and be in charge of a turn-based combat. To reinstate your hold over the world of humans, you must first regain the strength you previously wielded by taking possession of artifacts with legendary power. People on Steam are saying that Rogue Lords is a nice game, but it's infuriatingly slow. You will spend most of the time working the main map, and the difficulty levels sometimes have extreme spikes. That's why this game has only mostly positive review score on Steam, but if you are a patient gamer, that shouldn't bother you. Tropico 6. This is a strategy city builder sim. You'll become a mighty dictator or a peace-loving statesman. You will shape the fate of your very own country, mostly by building cities. Of course, you will also raid foreign lands to steal their wonders and monuments. There is no surprise that here will be a lot of politics. You will have to balance between political parties to keep everyone happy, or you might be invaded or rebelled upon. The learning curve of this game is quite steep, that is if you never played a city builder before. Even if you played, it can be quite painful to that tiny organ in between your ears, although the game has a tutorial where you can learn all the game basics, so don't worry. Well, honestly, worry. Syberia, the world before. The game consists of 2 parts. In the first one, you will play as a girl who is beginning a brilliant career as a pianist. However, shadows begin to appear over her future at the dawn of the Second World War, and the next part of the story will take action to a year of 2004, where you will play as the girl imprisoned in the salt mine. A tragic event propels her into a new adventure in search of her identity. So you'll play in both timelines and explore a fantastic and poetic world with its amazing sceneries. One thing I can say for sure, this game is beautiful. Of course, not as beautiful as you, my friend, but still looking very good. The art direction is at the top level, and it alone should spike your interest in this adventure game with a great story, especially if you like to solve some complicated puzzles and not crack hardest riddles. Oh yeah, sadly the game is not for the weak, it will squeeze your brain power quite well, and all that is accompanied with a symphonic soundtrack composed by IXION. You probably know his tracks from Syberia 3, Fallout, Dragon Age, and Prince of Persia. Also on Steam you can try the free demo version. Crossfire Legion. Here you'll lead your customized army to failure, well, or to victory, which is less likely on the proving grounds of a not-too-distant futuristic world consumed by corporate conflict. Here you'll also find a nice campaign where you will fight in various terrains, from atop of skyscrapers to marshy wet regions that will remind you of your ex, or infiltrate heavily defended military bases as you get to know the main characters and goals of all 3 rival nations. Multiplayer is also implemented, so you can climb leaderboards or most likely never ever see your name even close to the top, or probably at all. You can also team up with your friend in co-op maps and defend together, or show your adversaries who's the boss. Probably not you. People on Steam are saying that Crossfire Legion has StarCraft-style gameplay within Command & Conquer general-style setting, which is great. The downside of it is that you will need an internet connection even for a single-player campaign. Also, it lacks map variety and some other features, but keep in mind that the game is constantly updated, and it's new, and complaining is not what we do. More RTS like StarCraft is better than less. Let's not discourage creators with our overwhelming whining. Frozenheim. This is a Norse city builder game with nice management mechanics and multiple progression trees where you maintain and expand your settlement. As you launch exploration parties on foot and by boats, you will not only discover resources you can exploit but also draw the attention of the enemies who seek to destroy you. This is a really bloody RTS game where you have a chance to chop your enemies like butter or hide like a coward behind huge wooden walls and towers filled with archers so you could fill attacking enemies with your stingy arrows. Or if you lack arrows, you can safely swear at them and call the attackers and their mamas fat. To prove yourself an earl worthy of songs and sagas, you will build and expand Viking village from nothing to a rich, unconquerable settlement. Or very conquerable and puny, and you will have to load the game and play again, but this time without stupid decisions. Here you can forage, hunt, fish, grow your food and keep your clan safe as the season pass. Also seek the blessings of ancient shrines and build temples to win the favor of Asgard and all the Asgardians. Sea Salt. It's a dark fantasy reverse horror action strategy game with a comfy horror vibe where you play as a nightmarish force of Dagon, the Eldritch God. You will be controlling an ever-growing horde of evil minions. To say short, you are evil and you slay good guys. That is very nice, I like that. Game looks easy at the beginning, you just run after some weaponless guys and tear them to pieces. But later it gets harder and harder.
That's what she said.
And then everything in your control dies horribly. To be short, it's a great game. I have reviewed this game in my channel and back then I gave the game 8 cold beers out of 10, which is a really high amount of imaginary alcohol. Tainted Grail Conquest. This is a unique, infinitely replayable, story-driven hybrid between a deck-building roguelite and an RPG game. Here you'll explore the ever-changing maps, fight with deadly enemies and learn what happened to the cursed island of Avalon. You will find 9 unique hero classes, 460 cards, 340 passive skills, 50 masteries and a lot of other stuff you don't really care to hear about right now if you never play the game. I can say one thing for sure, it's a dark fantasy game with all the dark benefits of it. Original monsters and beasts, creepy adversaries and fun gameplay await you here. About 90% of the reviews are positive, so it's safe to say that there is a huge chance that you will like the game if you like the genre. People on Steam are saying that this game is gritty, gnarly, dark and worth your money even when it's not on sale. Eldest Souls. This is a Souls-like boss rushing game where you kill evil gods. Well, at least you think they are evil, but the backstory is that mankind imprisoned those gods a long time ago and now they are draining your world of life itself. To be fair, we brought this on ourselves, and now we have to repair the stuff our ancestors screwed up a long time ago and kill some gods. Or, more realistically, to die a lot. Game looks great, those graphics are true work of art, no doubt. The only thing I don't like is the name of a game. Eldest Souls are obviously named because of a genre, but I find it a bit annoying practice. It's like naming an action RPG game Diablo. Imagine, Path of Diablo, Grim Diablo, Torch Diablo, Diablo Arc, Diablo Quest, Victor Diablo, and of course the incredible adventures of one Diablo. That would be silly, right?
No, that would be actually cool.
Oh, shut up. Command and Conquer, Red Alert 3. If somehow you were living under a rock in the bottom of the ocean far away on a distant planet in a parallel universe and avoided Red Alert 3, this is your chance to fill the gap and play one of the best RTS games ever created. Or maybe you have nostalgia and way more powerful machine than in the year of 2008 when you were playing the game for the first time. So now you can enjoy the game in full glory. Also, you can find tons of mods now that improve the gameplay in one way or another. Red Alert 3 has an awesome campaign, still good-looking graphics and tons of fun. Steering Abyss. This is an indie tactical squad-based game with strong RPG elements. Here you'll uncover the ancient mysteries of the oceans depicted in the classic style of Lovecraftian horror. You take charge of the surviving crew of a submarine that sinks while on a top-secret research mission during the early years of the Cold War. You find yourself surrounded by the ruins of a forgotten civilization and your vessel is too badly damaged to escape the seabed. You slowly unravel all the mysteries of the depths in a desperate quest to rescue your missing crew members and fix the crippled submarine. The choices you make determine the fate of your crew and the entire world. People on Steam are saying that here XCOM meets Cthulhu, and that is all you need to know. If you are in doubt, you can play free demo version. World War II Rebuilder. The year is 1945, it's the end of World War II, and you are one of the builders assigned to repair and renovate places completely destroyed during the war. You will visit monuments and famous buildings, stumble upon their history and take part in the biggest rebuilding missions, meet civilians from England, Germany and France, and guide them through the process. During the journey you will collect resources and craft materials to flip houses, repair industrial buildings, roads and squares, pick up a hammer, drive a bulldozer, become a mechanic and operator of various machines, drive cars and bicycles. Also clean up the area, defuse and get rid of the bombs, and design the new look of the place by decorating. Game has quite nice visuals and the atmosphere is great as well. World War II Rebuilder is an owner of very positive reviews, and people on Steam are saying that if you liked other sim games, especially the House Flipper, this one is very similar, just with a cool twist on the setting. Lumencraft. This is a combination of a top-down shooter and base building game with tower defense elements. You will enter procedurally generated levels with a fully destructible environment. You will build your base, dig some tunnels and find the precious lumen, humanity's only chance for survival, a crystal of high energy that may be the last chance for the mankind. Your people established an underground settlement and went into the dark to reach the nearby deposits, but the darkness consumed them as the subterranean caves and tunnels hold as much danger as salvation. Now it's time for you to step into the endless shadows and show all that darkness who the real boss is. As always, probably not you. Dungeons 3. You will be able to unleash your dark side by creating a unique underground dungeon from an array of rooms, traps and structures. You can raise a pretty despicable army here. Your goal, of course, is to corrupt the land and destroy all things cute or even remotely good. Yes, you can visit the overworld here and, yes, let the terror thrive. The game has randomly generated levels, so it has great replayability. Isn't it awesome, friend? Don't you think so, friend? Notice how I called you a friend? It's because you are subscribed to my channel, right? Right? Anyways, people on Steam are saying that this game has tons of Easter eggs and nerdy references. It's like it was made for us.
Yeah, it was literally made for us, you genius.
Oh, shut up. 5 Nations. If StarCraft was mockingly called a Warcraft in space, then 5 Nations should be called a Warcraft in space, because it is following the same gameplay formula as Blizzard games, but everything is happening, you know, in space. But don't worry, this is not some grand strategy game or something like a homeworld where the distances are huge and everything is happening super slow. No, in 5 Nations the background is space, but all the action is the same as in old good base builder RTSs. The game gets little attention because it's an indie game and they have no money to make a huge advertising campaigns. I found it just because I was especially looking for games like StarCraft, and it still took me an hour to get to this game. Great thing is that you can play the demo version on Steam absolutely free and check it out with your own eyes. Although it's not easy to see where to download it, look in the right column above information about languages and you will see the download button. 5 Nations managed to stay true to old school gameplay, voiceovers and even writing style, and that is great. Roguebook. This is a roguelike deck builder with unique mechanics from the developers of Syberia and Richard Garfield, creator of Magic the Gathering. You'll build a team of 2 heroes and dive into a memorable adventure like never before, or more likely like, you know, sometimes before. I would probably ignore the game, but the Roguebook's unique characters, especially various monsters, catch my attention. I'm really tired of conventional monsters, you know, like dragons or unicorns, and this game has some really nice hybrids I never seen before. So here you'll be able to choose from 6 hero pairs, and each hero has a collection of over 50 cards, a personal relic and a unique skill tree. You will choose your combo and dive into the battles where you will face over 40 bosses and enemies. Game has very positive reviews and people on Steam are saying that this is an awesome follow-up if you liked Slay the Spire. In Sound Mind. This is a survival horror where you will experience a series of haunting memories. You will take on a journey through a progression of unsettling stories, each with unique puzzles, mechanics, weapons and boss fights. Basically here you play as a town therapist and dive into the strange worlds of your patients. The game is a bit scary and plays as a psychological thriller. All the levels are unique and all of them hold a certain ominous atmosphere, so it will definitely grow some hair on your mental balls. People on Steam are saying that almost nobody expected the game to be this good for this price, and I totally recommend it for you as well. Orcs Must Die 3. This is probably the most entertaining tower defense game I have ever played, and I don't have specifically the third part in mind. The whole franchise will erase your boredom like your ex erased you from her life without a trace. So anyway, here you will be killing orcs, wave after wave after wave, and you will do that not only with various traps and turrets, but personally as well. You can play solo or two-player co-op, arm yourself with a massive arsenal of weapons and slice, burn and zap hordes of repugnant orcs. The game is incredibly fun, and at first it seems easy. Oh, but all this is just a deception. Later games will turn into incredibly hard try again and again battles. One misplaced trap, one missed shot, and you know, you are dead. If you have a weaker PC or just saving money, you can buy the second or even the first part of the franchise and have a great time as well. IXION. Propelled onwards through a perilous journey, you are the administrator of the mighty space station, charged with finding a new home for humanity. Keeping the station sound and flying will require a firm hand and strategic thinking. You are constantly pulled between maintaining hull integrity, bringing in new resources, and managing power consumption. What choices will you make when confronted with impending disaster? What will you discover out there in the dark? Probably nothing good. We all know that Borg is somewhere out there. Urtuk, the Desolation. This is a dark fantasy tactical turn-based RPG. Here you'll guide your band of adventurers through the ruins of an ancient world in order to, you know, bring your own order and punish the rest. You will recruit new followers, loot the corpses of your fallen foes, and do the best to survive in this harsh and unforgiving realm. Here you'll find a procedurally generated survival campaign, will extract upgrades directly from your fallen enemies, and enjoy detailed hand-drawn characters. At the moment of writing this overview, the game had 90% of positive reviews on Steam, so in my opinion, incredibly high score. People are talking that Urtuk has a very nice variety of units, entertaining synergies, and is light on the story in a good way. And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!